Hello, family. Excited to be here, but also like we were not super prepared with this topic. That's why we're a little late, but only late on our terms. We're here on time, God's time. And we're just talking about all the things happening and love hurts and our journey with Jesus started this week. If you weren't part of that and want to be part of it, text the word trust to 850-888-5182. We just share it so much because it truly transformed the way we live. It at birth the real missing piece, and it's like one of those seasons where everyone's contemplative. One of my coach that I work out with, she was saying like this is the season where it truly matters, or where more important things matter than others. And I was like, yes. And also it's like the most important thing that matters is presence with God and being present in the moment. And so just excited for all of that. And on Thursdays, we activate the theme of the week. And the theme of this week is love hurts. And
We're activating love hurting for
yeah,
real.
for real. And I think I know my phone listens to me and my algorithm definitely listens to me, but I did repost a couple things that just came to mind right now because I was like, why is the algorithm following me? But one was closed doors are blessings too, because I think sometimes we think love is supposed to be open doors all the time,
Mm.
but closed doors are blessings too. And let me see. Yeah, that's all she says. It says sometimes God closed doors because it's time to move forward. And I love that. And another thing that came up was be so rooted in God's plan that even disappointment feels like divine protection. And protection has been in my brain in my Ask God prayers. And also, this one was funny because it was Proverbs 16:24, and kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul, healthy for the body. And sometimes our words are not so kind, and I'm calling myself
Mm.
out. And I just I pray that God gives us the words to to be so kind. But in one of my we wanted to start because this is kind of like where we wanted to start for today. We love to read I have the Jesus Always by Sarah Young, and Candace has the Jesus Calling. And it has dates in it, and you read it by day, and I swear it changes every time. And I like to read it at night usually or in the past. And um I'm reading yesterday's, and it was February 17th. You can find joy in the most unexpected places. However, this requires effort, searching for the good and refusing to let your natural responses blind you to what is there. I will help you respond in a supernatural way, giving you eyes that see beyond the obvious and discover treasure hidden in your troubles. Simply ask me. Living joyously is a choice. Since you inhabit such a sinful, broken world, you must choose gladness many times daily. Many times daily.
Mm.
This is especially true during difficult times. When something happens that breaks the pattern of comfort and happiness in your life, you are being put to the test. Such trials can both prove and strengthen your faith, which is much more precious than gold. I am training you to consider, oh my gosh, to consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. I didn't read the whole thing before we got on there. I
Nope.
made the agonizing choice to endure the cross for the joy set before me, the eternal pleasure of bringing my followers to glory. Choose joy, beloved, by fixing your eyes on me and looking for your treasures in your trials. And wow, maybe we should have named it Treasures in Your Trials, and we could.
Mm.
And all of that, I only read part of it, but it is just so timely every time. reading this book, reading Candace's, and we have we I don't want to say we look for signs, but we look for good. And the part where it says refusing to let your natural responses blind you to what is there. Our
Mm.
natural human responses, maybe this is more of a you, Candace, and the science, our natural human responses blind you to what is there. And I know you talk about inside out all the time and how when we are turning red or boiling up or not feeling well and just like our temper is like this little, because I know this is a thing these days with the kids. This the tiny claps. But
We're
uh,
back to that. Oh gosh.
I know because Lana uses that with her setter when she wants a short uh,
Oh.
when a short set. But I've also seen people do this.
Mm.
Um, that took me off topic. But it's like when our tempers are short and like we can't, I was talking to Candace before, we can't push it all down all the time. And it just eventually just throws up and like throws us in crashing out these days, but or like just losing your temper and rage cleaning. I don't know. Like well,
Mm.
however you lose your temper, um, and then you're like, man, I need to get with God again, like again and again and again. But thankfully, He's always there with open arms. And I think I heard it in a song. I don't know which song because I'm listening to so many different songs. But I heard a song today about homesick for heaven, and I was like, oh my gosh, that
That
is
is the
good.
song title by Phil Wickham.
Oh, okay. Maybe yeah, it probably was Phil Wickham.
Hmm.
Never heard that song, but I was listening to the
It's
Christian
so
radio
good.
and I was like, oh, yeah. Sorry. So I'm gonna have you take it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I don't even know where you were going with the homesick for heaven, but this I was about to say ask God. It's not ask God. This Jesus always is really messing me up in a good way right now, but like this is what is required for us. I think like activating uh what did you just call it? Like treasures in our trials, like activating that joy, living joyously is a choice. Like, there's times where your body, I don't even want to say your natural ways, your natural responses or natural tendencies, because
That's the mention.
I feel like that's like your worldly, like instead of the the word natural, we should use the word worldly responses because I want to know. I want to look up the definition of natural now. Um,
Yeah, because like when you say worldly to me, it's more like conditioned by the world. And they're like, you should react terribly to this because they treated you this certain way and they should not treat you that way.
or
And
or even what's coming to me is like, oh, this is how we do because we're human. Like we're setting like, but our true nature is our spirit that comes from God. That's our truth. But we have this like identity on top of that that we think is the natural way. So I don't know. I'm like, wrestling with this.
oh my gosh, and when you said the truth, that was like the last um thing I said to my husband last night. I just want to know the truth. Or like, is it the truth? Like, is it coming from the truth? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think our identities are, and this is what we've like been on the journey with, right? Now identity in Christ. We've muddled our identity in Christ with worldly rules.
Mm-hmm.
And then that messes up our, like, just how we function, our
Mm-hmm.
flesh. And like the goal is to not function that way and have the spirit lead. Like, and that's why. when we started the Real Missing Piece and you're like, it's a spirit-led community, I'm like, what is that? But now I'm like, yes, please. Please give it to me. Like I want the spirit-led life because that's the truth. That's our
Mm,
truth. And
mm,
it's backed by the Bible. Done. Okay, we're done with this call.
goodbye. Like, I don't even know. Oh
So
my gosh.
just living, and I was talking to my husband, like we can make choices every day. Like, and do we wake up? Like when you wake up in the morning, do you have a choice to make to live, I guess now the spirit-led life or the worldly led life. But I think this is the crossroads of how
Mm,
we function in both.
yeah. And the next line of it that said, okay, you have to refuse because we get the choice because we live in free will. You have to search for the good and you have to refuse to let your natural responses blind you, even if they're based off of experience. Oh, there goes that.
Yeah.
Even if they're based off of experience, it's off for the day. Um, because like I said yesterday or the day before, those experiences were there for when they were there for when were there for.
Right. Yeah.
But we don't need to keep bringing them into the present unless that's what God's calling us to do. So taking it to Him. But then the next line says, I will help you respond in a supernatural way, giving you eyes that see beyond the obvious and discover treasure hidden in your troubles. Simply ask me.
Mm.
So God's, I think I said this the other day, God's POV is like higher, further, deeper. And so when we seek Him, He helps us. And for me personally, it's funny because it was listed here. James 1 2 is the consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds. And like, I cannot, I said that verse popped into my head this week and just like 2 days ago, I think. And it's like, okay, consider it pure joy when you face these trials. And we can only get that pure joy when we're with God. But as I'm not going to lie, like I'm in this moment right now where I'm like, but I don't want to. And
And that's a choice.
I know that's why I'm like, but the presence, getting in His presence and like washing my heart with His word, those are things that I have to do even when my feelings don't want to align with what my heart truly wants. My heart truly wants to consider it pure joy.
Yeah.
But my feelings are talking and taking over.
And F the feelings.
Yes, F
Um,
the feelings. Anger is up here driving the controls right now. No, not for me, but I'm just saying in those moments.
and I don't know why it's like coming to me of like when we have these worldly feelings, just think the opposite because that's probably the truth. Like, they'll tell me one thing, I'll probably give you the opposite. And
Mm,
that's probably, and it will probably be backed by something in the Bible
mm,
or you can find it. But like if you're going through illness or if you're going through like a rough patch, um, it's a rough patch for a reason. And I liked how you said you were saying that whatever experience you had, that's me, in that moment was for that moment. And if we lived our life like that, oh my gosh, it's like there was a movie with Brendan Fraser, Encino Man.
yes. Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite ones.
He did not know like what was happening. Like he was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna enjoy my life and take it as it
I'm
goes."
squeezing the
So
juice.
like, but but we've lived our lives like lived our lives through many different things and we were been told stories through many different things and
Mm,
so that like co muddles all the things. And so like when you're in a moment of like that rough patch or in the illness, all of those things flood back. And you're like,
Yeah.
but, but that's not happening right now. And my favorite line that I always tell my kids or my husband, I was like, are you being chased by a lion right now? Like, are you being attacked by a bear right now? Are you on the street? Like, I could be like that too. Like, are you on the street right now? Um, or did you walk 7 miles in the snow? Like, I don't know. But like, I try to focus on the moments like right now. Like, is our dog being chased by a coyote right now? Because how would you, if that did come up in your life, how would you react? Your human would probably bring in all the flood of all the things, but your spirit could react in a different way, just like David reacted when he was with the lion or the bear. He just did it. He didn't have all the muddled things, and the Encino man didn't have all the muddled things. And that's why when it says right here, I will, or searching for the good and refusing to let your natural responses blind you to what is there, like you will miss, you probably couldn't fight that lion because you would be like so scared. You are like, you would just react differently because you're not letting God into it.
Okay, because it seems like I need to be asking you on this call.
Okay.
Enduring versus releasing. What
What?
comes to you for those two
Is this a
things?
this or that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a this or that, but like if
Okay.
you're going through things, trials, like what is coming to you for sticking and enduring it out versus when releasing it?
So
I don't want to answer my own question, so I'm going to shut up right now.
the old me would respond in like a fight or flight and for survival and for like, so basically I would lose my shiz and things would be said that probably shouldn't have been said. And the point wouldn't be um put across. But the new me, I feel like now, because I feel like anything that comes my way, not in a righteous or pompous or boastful way, that like anything that happens is happening for a reason. And like I was telling you, like I have this thing about apologizing and sorry that like it's okay, it was meant to happen. And it's okay that you feel bad, but like I'm not, like my peace is not hurt by that. My That peace that surpasses understanding is not hurt by that. My love for that person, if they're like my loved one, because I don't know about random strangers, but maybe, um, wouldn't be like I don't not love you as a person. I don't not like that love doesn't get lessened
Right.
because of something happening uh in that moment. I feel like endurance is the making the choices over and over again, but that the things that come to mind is like I am your come to me when you are weary. Come to me
Hmm.
like I am your protection, like God's your protection, God's your rest. Like all of those things are so true. And
Yeah.
if you believe, like if you believe and trust it. And I think yesterday when you shared that belief in the Greek definition, that belief and trust go hand in hand or walk right next to each other. That is so true because we could just check the box. Yeah, I believe that's gonna happen, but you have to trust. That's the
Hmm.
endurance. Trust me.
Yeah, but I guess what my question is more, it's not even, I think the answer has already been answered to me last week and then again right now, is a moment to moment taking it to God. Um, it was like kind of like that swirling of like knowing your worth and knowing like I could keep enduring this because I do love like love you as a loved one on a deeper level, love you as a human. I can endure it. But then also at what point am I being a fool for like turning up and like, but not even just
But I think
in a
if you,
relationship, not even
yeah,
just in a
but
relationship.
if
I'm talking
you're
about in a
like,
trial.
but if you're in that trial and I think God, like it says, simply ask me. And
Yeah.
I think God has revealed to you a lot in,
Oh no, for me, for sure. I just
yeah.
was trying to
But
give
like,
everybody an example.
yes, but like simply asking God, like in this situation, but also it's like truly being open to experience his love, whether it hurts or not.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's what's helped me like either release something or endure something.
Yeah.
And it's not now based on the rules of the world.
No, it's not.
And some people could argue that the rules of the world are this, this, and this, and you're not following the rules because, but like in your heart, I think you're the only one that could make that decision to endure or release something.
Hmm.
Um, or it just happens like supernaturally.
It does I like that's where I was gonna go with it too. And I
Yeah.
really I asked for some guidance questions. And this like comes to discernment between endurance and releasing. And some good things to kind of keep in mind are for endurance, if it's endurance, is this producing humility, patience, Christ likeness? If is it aligned with scripture? Is this consistent with God's character? If so, it may be you may be in formation and you keep enduring. And then if it's release, is this producing pride, fueling comparison? Is this draining life without fruit? Is this rooted in fear? And has God clearly closed this door? And if it's yes, then it may be time to let go. But again, ultimately, I feel like you said, and it came to me last week too, it's situation to situation, moment to moment, taking it to Christ and being willing to fully surrender the control of the outcome. And I do feel, and I found for myself too, found, that it, the peace is there, and you're right, it doesn't decrease my love for you. Um, but there
Past it would,
are, go ahead.
in the past it would have.
In the a hundred
Yeah.
percent,
Like
a
everyone
hundred
has
percent.
points of love and you get 0 points today. I was kidding.
And it would have been like a performance related, but I
Yes,
don't know how to
period.
describe that now it's not, but it is. It seems like it, but it's not. It's more of like, I don't know, heart, I don't know, in motion.
It's
Ugh.
it's a different I guess not even it would be a different point system that doesn't have negatives.
Mm, exactly.
And when you were talking about those questions, and I think we could all ask ourselves those questions, but even those questions have so many variables.
There are variables, and that's why I agree with what you said. It'll happen in a supernatural way, is
Yeah.
that God will come in and be like, yeah, normally I would say this, but look at that. And then you're like, okay. And that's where the control, releasing control that we were talking about yesterday really comes in, is in those moments of like, I'm not trying to get an answer that I want right now. I want what you want, God, and
Yeah.
bringing back your will be done, like whatever. And that's the difference I'm living right now in the endurance versus releasing. I'm living in like, I am okay no matter what because God's got my back. Like you said, He's my
Yeah,
protector,
period.
He's
Yeah.
my defender. He loves me. He's such a loving father. And you too, if you're listening to this, God loves you like that much. And you get to choose to give that to Him. I just want to make sure people like see that it is a peace that surpasses understanding, but it doesn't mean we don't still go through trials. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we're not still feeling that tension between the world and the word, right? We're still living it, but we're living it with him. And actually, now I'm going to go read mine because 2 days ago, um, 2 days ago, Emmanuel from the book of Luke came into my brain and is God with us or God with you. And yesterday's Jesus calling started with, I am with you. These four words are like a safety net protecting you from falling into despair. Because you are human, you will always have ups and downs in your life experience, but the promise of my presence limits how far down you can go. You guys, yesterday I was literally talking about in my Ask God, let me get that. Um, I was asking God what the question was. Jesus, what are you inviting me to come and see with you right now, even if I don't yet understand where it will lead? And Cheryl, 2 days ago, had heard an update for her But God sticker to Only God. So I heard Only God, the song In Christ Alone was playing. And then I was reminded of the fact that the word miracles has been like coming up. And then he said, my child, my daughter, my sister, I'm inviting you to see and experience the greater than, the immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine from Ephesians 3:20. And then the rest of that verse, you guys, that most people kind of cut off in their awareness says, according to his power that is at work within us. And he said, choose to unlimit the power within and help others do the same. Let me work, cook, stop selling, let me cook. Come see and experience, then testify. Limitless. And Limitless was a tattoo I wanted, still kind of want in a different version now. And it's like we become limitless when we realize he's with us and we give him permission and we seek him over and over and we wash with that even in the moments when we really don't want to. Like, I'm like, my feelings right now are let me just escape from the world and let me pull my, my mother in law used to say, let me take my glasses off and pretend I can't see. Uh, just because, like, for a minute, I feel like I don't want to see the truth. And I love that God gives us grace even in those moments. He's still sitting there with us. He's still there. He's still speaking to us. So,
Yeah, and I used to believe that we could only live limitless in heaven. Maybe this is
same.
the homesick for heaven
Mm,
song is was brought up was just because like we'd have to die to go to heaven, and then there we can have the best life ever. And it's depicted in movies. That it's only the perfect life in heaven. You'll have all these things. But then now like when you get into it and there's other stories about heaven and all these other things happening, that picture gets muddled. But like learning now that God is with us here every single moment, and he is working every single moment, even when you're sick, even when you're going through a rough patch, even even when I don't know, your kids are not cleaning their bedroom. The- um like it's he's still like here with us, and we get to live that life here just with different trials because we're in the world. We're not in heaven. But
right.
like taking on those trials, like being with God, those are easy, easy peasy, light work.
Mhm.
Like we can take on those trials if we trust God, have that belief or that belief trust um going hand in hand and just like following the truth. Because if we didn't, we could follow the algorithm. But when you were saying that, like we could talk about this and this will happen. I just think like sometimes that algorithm is so strong that it knows everything happening in our life, but that they're not God. They don't know what's happening in your heart.
Right.
Like your heart doesn't speak out loud unless you're doing ask God prayers and your mics are all on everywhere. Um, it doesn't. the algorithm doesn't know what's in your heart. Like, and
Yeah.
that's between you and God. And that's the cool part is that we have that intimate relationship with God that like everyone can have.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, like, even if they are outside on the street or somewhere else, like, they have the same opportunity to have that intimate relationship with God.
Mm,
Look
yeah.
at us preaching, messing me up.
All right. One of the verses at the bottom of your Jesus Always was First Peter 1, 6, 7. So I'm going to read
My
it.
God, you have to read that
I
one.
have to read it. It says, in all this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Mm.
Mhm.
And I'm going to read number 8. Though you have not seen him, you love him. Even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy, for you are receiving the end result of your faith, the salvation of your soul. Bro, 8
Yeah,
and 9, add those on to that. The glorious joy. And that's what we titled this, right?
right.
Joy.
Joy is a choice.
Joy is a
Yeah,
choice.
and I love that. I
But
love
you're doing this because your faith, so that your faith can be proven. And I think
it.
if you, or you're
And
going
that
through
God's
this.
glory can be glorified.
Yes. Yes. GGG.
Yeah.
Give God the glory. I think that that is what I keep when my feelings are like, let me take my glasses off, let me put the blanket up, let me just get in the bed and just like turn off the world for a minute. Turn off my reality,
Let
air
me go watch
quotes.
so many movies.
Yes. We're both in the same, which is not surprising. Oh, um, but when it is that way, we can remind ourselves like when when we're ready that okay, this is proving my faith, my genuineness of my faith in God, my trust level of him. Like it's strengthening that trust muscle
Yeah.
and calling us back into him.
Mhm.
And I period, I think that's where we cut this off
Yeah,
because
but then sorry,
go
my brain,
ahead.
like, oh my God, we need to have praise points because we're such like sports parents and stuff, and like it would be cool to just like be like, that's a praise point right there. There's a praise, and not that God needs points because he told me yesterday he can handle whatever comes at his way, and I want to feel that way. Like I want to feel that I can, or everyone can handle what they want when God's with them because he can handle it all.
Mm-hmm.
And like giving him praise points instead of us being like, oh, 0 for the lion, 1 for me, like, or 1 for the lion this time, 0 for me. Um, I just think that if we continue to just praise, worship, we talked about this, I think, one of the weeks. Um, that's our weapon to anything that comes our way. And that feels so big
Mm.
in a like not righteous. Like I keep trying to say this because
No, righteous is what we're going after.
I
Stop
don't want to come
taking.
off as like judgmental or anything like that. I just want like yeah, I just don't want to come off that way. And so that's why I say
It
that.
didn't sound that way to me, just
Okay.
for the record.
Okay.
And our friend Sunny back here, she said, nope, not me either. And me all sitting here like this. I hope you viewers like get this feeling when you're watching us. I just want to like lean in and like, yeah, let me get some more of this. Even though my insides sometimes are like, what are they saying? This is like,
Yes, but then if you were outwardly projecting those insights, you'd be like, this. What are those people talking about? Messing me up? Like in a bad.
not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Mine on the inside is like mind blown. Like I
Yeah.
feel like my mind blown emoji is just like And like the swirlingness is like, oh, there. It just like
And
comes
then
back
pick the
together.
dog.
But then on the outside, I'm like this, give it to me. Give me some more. Let's go there, God.
It's
Oh,
good.
okay. Hopefully this helped activate some some joy. Or
Some
at least the deciding factor for you to be able to choose joy even in the trials. Um, if so, hit the like button, smash it up, you guys. Leave us some comments, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things. But beyond that, you guys, let us know what this is doing for you, what your real honest thoughts are, and like what you're battling. I feel like it helps us to learn and listen to each other because it helps us. And maybe we have a word that we don't even know we have, and the minute you like say something, something will drop into our head, um, and we'll be able to help you through that. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just looked down and saw the word chosen in First Peter. Okay. Happy Thursday. Happy, like, I hope that you're walking into whatever the week ahead or weekend ahead holds for you, knowing that God is with you, number one, and He wants to help you. He wants to give you peace and joy that surpasses all understanding, and He will if you seek Him and you ask Him. And next week we are going to be leaning into love in action and probably just kind of wrapping up the last 3 weeks, nice pretty bow that we don't even know what it's going to look like yet because God hasn't cooked it fully, but we're letting Him. So we love you. We hope you have an amazing week.